Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good night, whenever you're watching this, and welcome to the Anime Otaku podcast. I'm joined by a first timer here, Tony, aka Silver, from you. If you're watching this from the Twitch channel, you should know who this is. But hey, Silver, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. For me, it's afternoon, evening. At least right now. Obviously, they'll watch it when they watch it. But
Yeah,
yeah, not,
this is a what was gonna say? Sorry.
I'll just say it's not bad though overall. Weather is okay
Great.
today. Yeah,
Great. Here's almost midnight, but that's as per usual. So, so, and here it's going pretty good outside of me having to buy a computer tomorrow. So,
uh,
yeah, not fun in the today's society. But I was thinking about before we start over to the main topic at hand, which I know you love dearly and sort of like that, is that I could maybe we could do some what have we read recently. And well, I don't know how much manga you read besides this one. You do read a lot of comics, so
yes. Okay, so mainly like what I mainly been reading lately is DC comic stuff. Um, So like Flash, obviously Wally West is my guy. No offense to Barry, he's okay. Without Barry, obviously Wally wouldn't be there. But Wally is my guy. He's starring the main Flash title. He's the star of Absolute Flash, and I love both of those books so much. They're very fun. It's just Absolute Flash in particular is such an interesting, like, I mean, obviously if you read like Absolute Batman, everyone knows Absolute Batman. And they just announced like an animated series today, which is really cool. But like the Absolute universe is of course like alternate takes of all the characters in the franchises. So with Flash, it's Wally did start off originally as a teenage Flash, but he was like 19 in the comic series or like in the main universe when he took over. In this Absolute Flash, he's like 15, and he's meeting, all his supporting cast, his rogues and everything very early. They're all kind of different. His main love interest in both the main series and in this series is Linda Park. And she's, they don't usually meet until like she's like almost 30 and he's like in his 20s. And it's very interesting to see them interact as kids. It's very cute. And he's going through a lot as everyone in the Absolute Universe. So yeah, that's my
yes.
main not Witch Hat Atelier thing that I am reading. Of course, we're gonna talk about Witch Hat because that's the
Yeah.
point here. But
So a lot of you would my good friend Mike and would love talking probably Flash with you at some point because Wally is a guy too. So
yes, yeah. He's the
yeah,
goat for a reason. He created his series introduced the Speed Force. Like say what you will about CW, Flash, and stuff like that. Focusing on Barry and his connection to the Speed Force. Wally is the Speed Force guru. He's the master. He's like I could go on about this for like 20 minutes. Stop me. Please
I
stop.
can imagine that. I can imagine that.
He's is crazy. That's my boy. Oh my gosh, Wally. My chud son, as they say.
Uh, hey, Arian. Uh, but yeah, here it's the usual One Piece. Started Witch Hat, and then insert obvious fear and joke here. Yeah, inside joke between me and Tony.
I'm
So
going to start it. It's just one of those things where like it's on the list, but my
yeah,
list
I
is
know.
like I got so many things. I got to be in the right headspace for it. I
I
started
get you. I get
the
you.
final Lord
I
of the
get.
Rings book. I haven't watched the movies. I started Return of the King, that kind of thing. I got stuff. I'm gonna get to it
I know. I know.
eventually.
And then we have also the usual the guilty pleasures, Hema and then a very what is it, diabetes styled romance manga, blue box
Cute.
and flower who grows with dignity. I think you would, if you like as a slice of life romance, I do believe you would enjoy them. They are pretty cute. So
Sounds nice. I might hop on.
one, so and well, One Piece being One Piece, batshit insane and all that, yes. So, but anyway, here we why don't we go to the main objective in general, and with you being the being sort of like the witch hat star and obviously guest here. After I'm reading the synopsis, I was thinking letting you take the wheel, so to speak. And Witch Hat is a series that follows a girl named Coco who dreams of being a witch, but in her world, only those born with magical abilities are able to become witches. However, after meeting a witch named Queefrey, Coco's dream begins to come true. Well, take the wheel, Tony.
Okay, so should I guess there's a lot of things I could say about it. It is primarily a series about art. It's also a series about liberation of children. It's also a series about disability, I guess disability justice, like accessibility, making the world safe for like everyone. It's a series about classism. It's a series about misogyny. It's a series about, honestly, most like any kind of like, there's some stuff about, okay, are they, marriage equality even that gets into it. And a lot of this is later in the series that the first season has not covered, obviously. But it is portrayed through the eyes of Coco and her fellow students at the Atelier. It's, if you've not seen the show or read it, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, stop watching us and go do that. At least a little bit. It's that good. You're going to read it. You're going to be like, oh my God, I've been sitting here not reading this whole time. And I'm like, yeah, like, it's that good. Everyone I've told to read this who reads it, they're like, you were right. I should have read this like 3 years ago. And it is, the artwork is so beautiful. It's a monthly series. So in the manga, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Shirahama Kamome is the mangaka, and she does so much detailed line work, line art in this. It's so intricate. The way she draws fabric, the way she draws motion, the way she does everything in that book. You would not believe it is monthly. Sometimes she'll take a month or so off. Like this month, there's no new chapter yet, but it's very beautiful. It's very heartfelt. It's very genuine, and it's fun. Like, it's about Coco. She's about 12. I think we don't have like strict hardcore ages, but most people in the fandom say 12. I believe we got ranges like 10 to 12 or so. She's not a teenager. She's not a little kid.
I mean, with her behavior, I can believe 10 to 12, around that area.
Yeah, and you can see right now that spread it's just gorgeous. Like, look at that dragon. Look at the girls. They're running. Like, look at how the detail all on their cloaks and everything. Like, it's just a very beautiful series, and every single chapter looks like that. I have no problem with artists doing shortcuts. I do want to be clear. Protect your arm as much as you can. These deadlines are crazy. I very much understand that. But this series does not have those shortcuts. This series is amazing that it exists to me. Honestly, like, I read it like, I want to say like 2 years ago. I got into it and I started reading it. I was like, oh my God, like, this just looks like this the whole time. It's not just covers. It's not just like, there's sometimes a disparity between cover art and promo art and what's the interior art. It's just, there's nothing like that here. And the mangaka Shirahama, she's done art for like Western publishers too, and she has her another series before Witch Hat that she did. I cannot recall the name right now. You can probably pull up on Wikipedia. It's about like this one girl who's like a party girl and one girl who's like a prissy girl, and they do things. I don't really know. I only read like one chapter, but it also looks great. And she's done a lot of Marvel, DC variant covers. If you are some main covers too on like the Star Wars Dr. Aphra series. I'm not a Star Wars person. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I'm sorry.
Same here. I'm not a Star Wars guy either, so.
I'm not. I've actually not even like. This is the funniest thing about me. I've not watched anything Star Wars. I know the basic Vader is Luke's dad, that kind of stuff. But
I know I'm gonna be lynched by some of my colleagues in Discord when they hear it, but you're not missing much.
Oh no, anyway. No. I'll trust you, but I know your opinions. You said some things like Awakening Lunatic Plus isn't hard, so sometimes I have to doubt you.
It isn't!
Sometimes I doubt you, but I trust that Star Wars is probably, it's probably very foundational, but it's also one of those things where, like, it's there. I can watch it at some point, but it's also very funny that I'm almost 40 years old and I still haven't watched it. I'm wondering how long I can pull that off in the nerd sphere, but we'll see. But yeah, back to Witch Hat. It's to not spoil people who have only seen the first season. It starts out slow, but as you can see, like I listed all those very serious topics, and then you watch like the series, like it starts out very like, this is a girl going to magic school kind of thing, and it is that series still, no matter what, but it ramps up, as you could probably see towards the end of this season, where like things got very tense, very like they are really in danger right now, like at the cliffhanger, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
And that tone kind of continues, but it never loses the heart. It never goes dark. I love Madoka. It never goes Madoka. It's not that kind of series, but it takes things very seriously while still maintaining the charm and like the acknowledgement that these are young children and you're meant to see them as children, not necessarily just as like figures. Like we got Aang on here, Avatar Aang, and that Coco's not Aang. None of these kids are Aang. None of these kids are like fated warriors to do like who know and have been grown and raised in that mindset. They are just normal kids. Like if they were in the real world, they will be on Roblox right now, like playing Switch. They're not, they aren't that kind of pro tags. Yeah. So, but
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and you can even see like, how spoilery should I get? I guess
we can take first half non-spoiler, then other half we go into more spoilers.
All right,
like that.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna spoil anything from things that are not in the anime yet. I think that's kind of rude. I know some people on YouTube have done weird things.
Yeah. Do we know when season 2 is coming? Because I do believe it's been confirmed already.
It's not been like officially confirmed, but there's like rumors that it's in the works. And it's kind of like we know it's coming. The anime is extremely extremely popular. The manga is extremely popular, well loved. It's going to come eventually. I don't think they've like officially announced like a timeline in that regard. So let me go ahead and check very quickly, see if there's anything on Twitter. I don't think, though. I think they're still just celebrating the release as it is right now. But
yeah, I can understand that, and I have to agree with you on that. That they, from what I can see at the very least, that they allow themselves to cover topics rather tastefully so far, at the very least. If you're going by the first season.
Yeah, like well, we can talk about it. Spoilers later.
Yeah.
We said.
And I have to say something from you know what, from what perspective, but uh, one thing I did enjoy a lot is the fact that, sure, it's always fun when we have quirky balls of quirky unorthodox teachers in anime and manga like that. Even though some teachers feels a bit, how are you having this job? Type stuff. See, for example, Midnight. I think it's Midnight in um, My Hero Academia. You might have heard of her.
Mhm. I'm familiar somewhat.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, my point is, him, Quentin Free, just standing there, taking it slow and talk with them calmly, collected, and actually be a bit, is it pedagogic in English? That he actually,
like kindly patient.
kindly patient, he actually properly communicated, not just. It's not exactly 101, I know that, but he's not exactly batshit Master Roshi insane, if you know Dragon Ball. But
Yeah. That's a completely different archetype.
But I think.
Yeah, like I guess I see what you're saying. Like he's like actual
pedagogical.
Like,
pedagogical. That's the word I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Like he's a very he's like an actual teacher put in the manga almost compared to like caricatures. And I mean like there are still like tropey aspects, obviously. Like he's got his mysterious frenemy guy who is there, and a god is the bully kid who has to warm up to the protag. Like it's not without tropes. I'm not saying tropes are bad or anything, but they do like sidestep a lot of the things you would expect with Kifri, like especially early on. Because even reading the manga, I was not like fully sold on him at first. I was like, okay, this guy, he's here. I don't really know what to think of him. Coco, you kind of get right away. She's a very bright. She's a kid who loves magic. She's just, and then she finds out that her dream of doing magic that she never thought was possible is actually something she can do. And she finds out, and she gets to live in the world. She reacts as a child would. People are gonna make the Harry Potter comparison, and I think that's fine. Although the mangaka is not necessarily of the belief system as J.K. Rowling, thankfully.
I would honestly more, especially with how Coco is, I would more say, in a sense, with My Hero Academia, with Izuka, and compare. There's some comparison there than Harry Potter, honestly, without all. Kirks and non-Kirk users, if I'm being completely real here.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Like it's told in a way that is less. It's okay. People make the Harry Potter comparison, especially with the manga, and I think it's because it's like kids going to school and magic mainly. I know some other things have like shared influence, like the Owl House. I've not seen that show, but I know the creator there is a fan of Witch Hat, and Shirahama is a fan of Owl House, and they've drawn fan art of one another's characters and stuff like that. A comic series I've not mentioned yet, Gotham Academy. The artist on the current Gotham Academy book, which is a mini series that I've been reading a little bit. It's nice. I do love Gotham Academy as well, but they did like a little cameo of Coco in the background of one scene, and then Shirahama found out the background is they put Coco there because Shirahama did do some variant covers for Gotham Academy as well, and So they're, you know, paying tribute to her, and also they're a fan. And so Shirahama saw, and they all just, you know, kind of had a nice little exchange on Twitter, like, oh, this is great. And people were talking about the Robins from Batman as like which of the girls they're most like, that kind of thing. It was a fun little couple days on Twitter. But yeah, there's a lot of series you could compare it to, but it's so much. The world that the characters and everything exist in is so rich that I would almost not do that at this point. The series is at Witch Hat Atelier is at like 97 or so chapters. I'm trying to remember what the last one was that I posted about.
Wasn't it 93?
It's on 97 now. That was a couple.
Right.
That was
97. Okay, my bad.
No worries, no worries. I remember 97. That was a good one. Well, I mean, they're all good ones, but we had some like fun little discourses, discussion of some scenes and stuff that was on Twitter. And I say we in the fandom. I know you're not caught up, so I don't go too much into that either. But it is one of those things where like you can compare it to a lot of things, but it very much is its own thing. And I mean, every piece of art is influenced by other pieces of art. I don't know that it's a direct criticism of Harry Potter or My Hero or anything like that. Even though like Shirahama has her beliefs, that, you know, I tend to agree with pretty much everything she said. I haven't seen anything offensive or anything, but you know, she believes in diversity in her work. As you can probably see in the anime, there's a lot of brown and black characters already, like in some scenes, like in the background. There's the boy at the river and his father are like partially Romani coded influence. None of these cultures have like direct real world comparables, but when you look at like the designs and like the cultural aspects, you can see like real world influences on it, obviously. So there's a lot about that goes into like the Witch Hat world that makes it, you know, look and feel like it's a, you know, a living place, a real world sort of place. And that's important to the creator as well, to portray a world that, you know, a lot of the readers, which are many of them are going to be younger audiences. Like we're adults talking about this, and adults,
Yeah,
it's made by an adult, obviously. And adults can and love things for children, but it is like a work targeted for like middle school-ish age group, particularly girls. Obviously it's a seinen series, so it's not just for little middle school girls if we want to get into like demographic discourse or whatever. But it's, you know, it's something everyone can enjoy. It's just very beautiful, and I cannot like tell people to read this more than I have already. Every time I get a hit tweet on Twitter with like a couple 100,000 likes, I post, please read Witch Hat Atelier. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It saved me, watered my crops, it nourished my body. It just really is that good.
I'm happy to hear that. And I know how it is to read something you thoroughly enjoy, so to speak. I enjoy it, while I do not love it on the same level. You know how big of a fan I am on the One Piece, for example. So
Oh yeah.
I get it. No, I absolutely agree with you on the whole deal with. Good thing about, or should I say, it feels refreshing that there is some an anime and manga that likes to include more diversity and all that. Yes, but I digress on that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, like I don't necessarily blame other people for not. I am Black. I should probably say that. I don't necessarily blame other mangakas for writing what they see, you know, and most of them are going to be like in Japan, and so they're going to be writing from that perspective, and I get that. But it is nice to see someone intentionally include people who are not like her, because, you know, that part of indulging in art is, you know, learning about others and experiencing experiences you may not experience in real life. So
exactly. Yeah. And also for the record, like 99% of people that are on this pod are people of color, so don't you worry about being one joining in here. So
Nice.
so so that's just so you know. But yeah, and but we haven't talked about the bad guys in this world, which we might could talk a bit of in the well. So, spoiler part, I do find it a very interesting context of a villain and all, but ideologically on how you should handle magic and all that. Yes, one is you shall be allowed to be more. Should I say that they are more? They feel like you should be allowed to do whatever compared to the other ones.
Yeah, like
In a sense.
there's a big ideological like battle. Technically, there's the first phase of it that already took place, where as we learn in the series, back in the day, we don't really necessarily know how long ago that was. I have theories, but back in the day, there was like a great big conflict. Witches were like throwing bombs and like all kinds of crazy spells at people. It was like warfare was just too crazy. Everything got too violent. It was too dangerous. So they decided to make the pact, which was magic would be limited to only certain people. Certain people being basically, if you already knew about magic, you could keep it and you could teach your children. But if you did not already have magic, you can't have magic. And so over time, they decided they like kind of literally like made it so that everyone would be like raised thinking that if you don't have magic, you can't use it, and if you do have magic, you can't tell anyone else about it. The witches, I don't know if it's like super clear from the show yet, but their society is like literally mainly like the Great Hall is literally situated under the ocean in like a bubble. So they're literally in a bubble, a societal bubble where they are the ones who hold the knowledge and they only interact with one another, which is, you know, in it.
Little on, it's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
little, yeah.
But they are the pointed hat society. The brimmed hats, which is like, you know, on a hat, like some hats have like a little part to have a shade over your eyes. The brim hats, that's the style, the traditional style of witch hats that you see in media usually. And I do want to make it clear that it's not necessarily a like strict society as structured as the pointed caps. It is like the main group that we see of them is Aigwin. We do not know much about them yet. Both honestly, even in the manga, they are still a mysterious figure. Even up to chapter 97, you don't find out too much about them. They have their little gang almost of folks who are aligned with them, and they are definitely like almost militarizing the use of magic. They want it to be known to everyone, but they are also trying to do it in a somewhat political fashion of they want Coco to expose the secret. They want her to be the linchpin. They don't want to take credit for it because they could really just like draw up like a TV screen spell and then broadcast, hey, magic is, everyone can use it. Here's the ink you can use for it. If they wanted to do it like that, I don't know that there's anything necessarily stopping them from doing that. Besides their intention of they want Coco to inundate the Pointed Cap Society. Coco, of course, don't know anything about this. She's a little 12-year-old. She just loves magic. She thinks magic's really cool. She sees the light up stones on the path on the ground, and she thinks, oh, this is the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. It's so cool. And then everyone else looks at her like this is just a normal magic spell. Like, chill out. But it doesn't matter to her. Like, she's not worried about any of that. She is a kid who has no political intentions or designs just yet. But as she learns and goes through the world, she kind of like, there are points where you can see her kind of not intentionally, but because she is not groomed in the witch pointed hat society, she ends up kind of like towing the line, blurring the line a little. Go, if magic can do anything, why don't we just do this? Like how she came up with, like when she was sick, she literally comes up with an accessibility spell to help her friend see, because he can't see color. This is a spoilery talk. Sorry, I don't know if that's too far.
No, we're in spoiler territory now. So
all right, I can go ahead.
Worry.
Yeah, her friend Tarda, he reveals to her that he has the silver wash. He can't see color, which means no one wants to necessarily teach him as a witch. So he may not ever get to go through the testing, the whole testing process, apprenticeship process, kind of. So because he doesn't know, like he can't see the color of certain things that witches, they're a very ableist society, as you could as established in their bubble. They only want certain people. They only and I mean, that's true to life, unfortunately, as well. If you have any kind of disability, any kind of difference, people, they may not look down on you, but they may not consider your troubles. And Coco walks into this kid's life and within a week says, oh, okay, here's how you could become an apprentice. There's a very obvious solution that someone who has never been in the magic world, came up with literally immediately. And here, this is how a spell works, and you could figure it out from there. Because she does this while half asleep and dead with her fever, and she laying in bed, and she comes up with this. So
yeah,
there are obviously things that magic can do that is not being exercised by the pointed cap culture. I do think both sectors, both the pointed caps and the brimmed caps, I think they are both heavily flawed. They're both somewhat evil. If you want to look into their actions, you look at how the Knight Morales, how Estes, I love him. He's the worst man you've ever seen in your life. He's a heroic figure only because he is not in the brim caps, but he's a cop. He will snatch a 12-year-old and throw the memory eraser spell on her without even asking questions. It's abuse of power. He's very, I mean, his viewpoint is that he's so dedicated to the pact of keeping the secret of magic that he's almost a tyrant in that sense. And that is because he was groomed in the Pointed Hat Society. Not excusing him, obviously there are other pointed cap who chill out. But he was groomed in that pointed cap society. That's the extremist view from the lawful side. The brimmed caps, Iglin, and I cannot pronounce the other guy from the end of the season. I cannot pronounce his name, I'm sorry. But the floating guy, they are almost anarchists, but not even so much that. It is kind of you can because they are controlled anarchy. They want it to happen in their way. So it's not even anarchy at that point. It's they just they have their own goals and they are aligned together, but it's not a structured hierarchy necessarily. Besides, Iglin is the main guy, or I'm saying guy. We don't even know if it's a guy or a girl or a non-binary or what. We don't know anything about this person yet. So I don't even take that as I'm not identifying a gender. We literally do not know anything about this individual.
We get you.
I'm saying that because I don't want people to oh, well, she said that it's a guy, so it means it can't be these characters if we get revealed later.
If they are going like that, then they can just F off. So.
Thank you. But yeah, so I guess mainly they're very, and you can see even there's grooming in the brim caps as well, how Coco even gets into the world of magic is they attract her when she's literally 3 or 4, say, hey, here's this cool book of magic, and they take her little snack money. They could have just gave her the book for free. They take her snack money. She's 4 and she don't know anything. She could probably barely read. And so what happens in the show is, and in the manga, is she doesn't figure it out until she sees Kifri do a spell that, oh, the book, these are all spells in the book and I could just copy them. and do them, which of course is another allegory for maybe don't copy someone else's artwork without knowing the like tracing is all well and good for reference, but you got to know like the basics. You got to know the meaning behind stuff before you go and do it. But you know, like this all happened to her without any sort of like, she didn't really have a choice to know like, okay, this is magic, and this particular spell that you're about to trace is kind of like a weapon of mass destruction or something. Like, we still don't even really know all the details about the spell that messed up her house and her mom, but her house and her mom got like messed up because the Brimcaps literally gave her a book and wanted her to cause chaos, and that in itself is like not cool, to say the least. They are very evil. You could tell by the season finale, like the way that the floaty one was like pinning down a god and stuff. They were very creepy. They were trying to mutate her. They done mutated my boy Uni. He's like he was just trying to take his test. He didn't have nothing to do with Coco or none of this, and they still mutated him because they do not care about like individuals. They're very evil. I do think this is me speculating on the end goal of the entire manga. I probably think the end goal is going to be Coco and her friends are assorted witches, witch children, outsider children, and there are some brimmed cap children as well that we get to see later on. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to create like a different society. And because again, at the core of the story is children learning about the ills of the world and then fixing it kind of in their best way. So I think Coco's going to change the world, but not in the way that Igleen wants, because they are creep and weird and evil. So
well, I get you, and I think you're kind of on point, because I feel like that is the main also that is kind of where the story should stop, with the society, and Coco is changing for the society medical society moving forward, and just a question of how they are ending up doing that and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. And there's even some like, Coco is still, even from her luck of being an outsider chosen to be able to have the gift of magic, she is still privileged, and she gets to find that out in the upcoming stories. You know, she's still got it better. Yeah.
Yeah. But more on that when the time comes, my friend.
Yeah, but even like we can see immediately, like in the first episode, even Kifri was about to erase her memory, and he doesn't do it mainly because she is useful to him, because he is hunting the brimmed caps. So if, you know, like that alone shows that there's some bias in the system. It's not just, okay, well, everyone who doesn't know about magic gets erased. It's, well, if you know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, then maybe, you know, the occasional outsider will stumble in, which is, you know, it's a little, the story in itself intentionally plays on this. It's part of the accessibility, the classism, you know, some people have more fortunate origins than others, that kind of thing. Even of the students at the atelier, Coco is an outsider who gets gifted the gift of magic. Riche, she, you know, God bless her, she saved, like, she broke away from her abusive previous master and she like saves, I don't know if the show said this part, sorry, but she saves herself and her brother, and they get the evil old master fired, and she gets to go to a new atelier. A god that, this is definitely in the show, is from a family that is considered very powerful, and you don't necessarily learn how she gets there yet, but she ends up at the atelier after her like very beloved and highly thought of family rejects her. And Tetia, we actually don't know about her in the manga either yet. We don't know her backstory yet. which everyone's like, oh man, Tetsuya backstory is gonna go crazy. It's gonna go crazy. And it probably will, but they're kind of joking about it right now just because we don't know it yet. But like just the fact that they're all there together in an atelier, and I mean, some of this is the power of protagonism. It's a fictional story. Obviously, our protags are going to be special children, even in the context of these are just children. But you know, the fact that they all end up together is fortunate. And like even Riche, if her parents weren't witches, like who have some sort of reputational power, I don't think she would have ended up on another atelier, because if you see how they treated Tarta, which is the fact that he doesn't have his he can't see color, that alone would keep him away from getting a mentor. Now, of course, you know, Kifuri, as soon as he heard that, he was like, man, let me adopt this kid too. Like, he's Kifuri trying to be everybody's teacher, of course, because he's a good dude. He wants to protect the kids. He sees there's a lot that goes into not just why he took in Coco, but just in general, he is protective of the children, and he does want to care for them. It's complicated, of course. But like the reason Coco is his apprentice is for selfish reasons, and arguably he does take any others for selfish reasoning as well, but he does care for the children. He does want to protect like as many children as possible. One scene that did not get into the show from the manga that I think is really important is that when he sees Iyuni's evil master at the test, and he does like in the show, he does like brush off the evil master, like, okay, why are you talking about that kid like that? Like, we don't want to hear that. But he does in the manga before they take the test, he does like sort of directly say to Iyuni, like, your master shouldn't be talking to you like that. If you need help, please report it to one of us, or like the Knights Morales or somebody, we can get you out of there. Like, he makes it clear that you don't have to be with this evil man. Like, other people are there to take care of you and teach you and stuff like that. So like, he's a very protective figure. He's a good guy, but like the reason why he gets away with a lot of things like that is going to be revealed later. But that kind of thing, it's not just that he's a good person who's able to do these things. It's a lot of people exercising their power in the best way that they can, kind of. I do think, especially what I like about him, I'm just kind of rambling now about everything I like, but it's probably fine. But I think what I do like about Kifuri especially is that, you know, he's shady like right away. Like, there's so many scenes early on, both in the manga and in the show, where he's like, okay, why is he, what's with this guy? He's getting the scary stare face. He's getting my glasses are shiny, I'm cooking up something suspicious scenes. He's got that anime glasses glare thing going, and the music stops when he does something serious sometimes. Like, okay, this guy, something's wrong with him. And yes, many things are wrong with him. You will find out later. But
yeah, the anime community started the sim for him as soon as they saw him,
which is good. Maybe because you know, shows need to have that sort of sponge to soak up that sort of energy. Like even like Mob Psycho, like as long as the adults are soaking that up, it's all good.
Yeah.
We don't need nobody being weird about the children. And I've seen people like talking about, oh, Coco and Kifuri, are they gonna have a romance? No, she's 12, and honestly, I think he's gay anyway. Like, and that's not even shipping, that's the text, which we'll get into later in later season, later volumes. Yeah. But like you need people to have like a sponge for that energy. So like even like the way the animators draw him, they draw him all like his back be all arched and stuff, which, you know, that's from the manga too. Shirahama be drawing him like that. But it's still like, you know, like he's that guy. He's very cool. He's very mysterious, and yet he's still the sidekick. He's the Robin to Coco's Batman. Coco is the main character. She's the GOAT. She has not done that much yet because it's just starting, and she had to learn how to, like, she had to watch the other girls when they were running away from the dragon and learn, like, okay, this is the amount of repetition they put into this. That is why they are able to be so efficient. Like these girls, like she watches like all of them plan and work together to build like all of this amazing spell in particular for the cloud, and it's just like she couldn't do any of that yet because she literally just got there. But she needs, like, she just getting started. Her pot of water is on the stove and you're seeing a little bubbling. Like she comes up with the target of the spell. She draws her line so strongly that Agat's shoes are like the Flash now. Agat got Speed Force, that kind of thing. Like but Coco's still learning. When you see this girl go off though later, there's no questioning. This is her book. I love Kifri. I love him. He's the second character, but he's Robin, and Coco is Batman. She is her story. Never forget that. And I think some people do get a little excited by the Kifri. They say the Aura farming. He's so cool. He is very cool. I'm not gonna lie. Robin is cool too. People hate on Robin from Batman because the movies didn't do him right, but Robin's cool. Like it's a cool little kid. He doing all this stuff, but you're there for Batman, and in this case, you're here for Coco.
Yeah. I don't know much more we can say regarding the season 1 without rambling into the manga territory, which
wow. I want to talk about a little about. I don't want to get too much into shipping, but I do want to say like.
Oh, here we go. It's okay. Go on.
The Kifri and Rugio stuff. You gotta read for that. It's the show is not there yet. The manga goes way into everything about them. It's crazy. The spin-off manga Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen is literally a cookbook in manga form. It's basically them in like a slice of life. Like I'm gonna say it's a romance. It's not explicitly a romance, but it's a romance. They're like sitting there cooking for each other, and they're 4 children, and it's like they're in love, and it's very gushy and cute. You can actually go ahead and just read that. I don't think there's any spoilers except for characters who may not have shown up yet in the show yet, but these are characters who exist in their world. So there's slight spoilers by characters existing. Some of them having connections to our cast in ways that you may want to be surprised for. But for the most part, it's literally just like they're literally just living in a house, cooking together and raising their 4 children. I do want to make it clear though, the girls being their children figures doesn't mean that the girls see each other as family. Obviously the main Coco ships are with Agat and with Tarda. Which that alone is in the anime. Obviously, like Tarda, like him and Coco had that energy of like she helps him, and they're like she inspired him, and also he and her they're buddies, they're oomfies, if you will. You'll see that play out a little bit. It never gets overtly romantic with any of the kids beyond like crushes, that kind of thing. Which to me is good because it's not a romance series in that way, beyond the fact that they're kids growing up and they're going to have their crushes and stuff like that. The main one, the big crush situation is Agat and Coco. You'll see them develop even further, but even just in the first season, you have the obviously like Sundara, Agat. She like, if you've seen the meme tweet, okay, the tweet was like someone's actual life experience, but it's become a meme of when I was 7, there was this girl I had a crush on in my class, and I didn't know how to deal with it, so I wrote her a letter that just said, "Get out of my school." And that's basically what Agat's whole thing is. It's very funny. I'll send it to you. But
okay.
That's basically Agat's whole thing of like she couldn't deal with Coco being there. And I mean, some of it is just like she's like a scholarly kid who is trying to prove herself a lot, so she don't want some other kid who she would have to help. But obviously it becomes a little gushy. It becomes a little, okay, there's a crush situation going on. Arguably Coco has more of a crush on her. Honestly, like you could see it. Like she got so. I almost think the show got the shippiness of them earlier than the manga did at this point. But like the show, like they really emphasized a lot of how Coco looks up to her and is very much inspired by Agat's magic as well. And like especially the last episode where like she finds out Agat like still using her shoe spell even though it's like way too fast, and she gets like fully red face, and people will find out like you press pause at the right moment, her blush has like a steam in the shape of a heart coming off her face. Like Coco is super fallen. But like again, they're kids. They're gonna have their little crushes. They're dealing with these feelings for the first times in their lives. They don't know nothing about that yet. There's a little crush factor going on with Uni and Riche, and you know, it's all very cute stuff. It's nice to me. Their Professor Dad's that's a tortured romance thing going on there. I can't get into it. It's even without everything about them is spoilers, so I can't get into it at all. But like it's crazy. Like it's insane. Trust me, y'all need to catch up on the manga. You'll see people literally dying over these chapters. There's one that I read that I was like, oh my god. And then just gotta keep reading. And then there's a one like 3 later on that are like life ruining. And so like even if they're not explicitly romantic, you could tell there's a romance there. Like that's the main emotional thread there for them. Elira, I love her. I didn't even talk about her yet. Some of her bigger moments are going to be season 2, so I don't want to spoil her too much. But she's very cool. But she's just their childhood friend. She's not like involved with them like that. They are the 2 dads. They are ride or die for one another, and that die is like a capital D. Like they might die. One of them might die. Both of them might die. Like it's very serious. And Ruzio hasn't even done anything in the anime yet. Like, but oh my god, I think you can already tell. Like you can already tell he's born.
Yeah, we clearly need to have you on season 2. That's for certain.
Oh my gosh, season 2 is not even gonna be like the one I'm thinking of. The point that I'm thinking of, they could. Okay, this season ended on chapter 23. It ended actually in the same exact place that the volume 4 of the collected editions ends. So even if you're reading in the manga, you'll get that cliffhanger too. So you can literally just pick up volume 5. I would highly recommend not doing that. I highly recommend reading starting from the first chapter, because there are aspects that are obviously not in the show. I keep seeing the joke that anime onlys don't know about the void toilet. There's a toilet that they use that is literally connected to outer space. And y'all don't even know about the void toilet yet. It's literally like the toilet. You find like Coco goes there, like, all right, and then I think Tetia shows her about the bathroom, like, okay, here's the bathroom, you can do your business and change in there and stuff. And then she's like, well, what's going on with this toilet here? And she's like, oh yeah, it just like takes all your waste and throws it in space. Don't worry about it. and I think, I don't remember if this was in the text or if it was just like in an info box. The manga has like a lot of like sort of encyclopedic info boxes in there, like built into the storytelling. Sometimes it's like literally a book that Coco's reading. Sometimes it's just like extraneous information for you, the reader. But it said like the witch who invented the void toilet disappeared one day. So the implications, they fell into the void toilet. None of this is in the anime. And it's very funny that y'all don't know about the void toilet. It's not important. It's just the toilet. But the fact that like stuff like that, like there's like contextual information of, okay, well, that's how witches use the bathroom, I guess, which is important because you learn about the sewage system for the normal people later. So it's like there's so many little tidbits like that thrown in that get like the fruit of them shows up later, and you're like, okay, that's why we learned that piece of world building, because witches are moderately insane, and I mean this complimentary, but they're insane. And because of that, you have to see like, okay, the logical extension of this void toilet existing means that they are not necessarily concerned about like the water system, the quality of it, that kind of thing, you know. There's always something that it grows into. But yeah, season 2, season 3, season 4. The one thing I'm thinking of with Orugio that's gonna come up is going to be season 2 most likely, just based on the fact that this season 1 ended chapter 23. I'm not going to say the specific chapter I'm thinking of. If you have read the manga, you know exactly what chapter I'm thinking of. But it should be in season 2. They honestly could leave the cliffhanger there. It would ruin people's lives, but they could leave it where I'm thinking. And it would be very mean of them, but it would be very fruitful for the discourse if they left it there too. But yeah, there's stuff coming up for him. But Orugio is very important in the concept of the series. He is the reason Coco falls in love with magic, as we already saw in the show. He invented the light up pathway that she first found, like her first thing in magic. And that's what endears her to him, which is just very lovely. Like, oh my gosh, your spell is so cool. It's the coolest thing I've seen in my life. I didn't even care about magic till I saw that. And it's like, oh my gosh, this little kid, she loves this thing. Okay. Thank you, young child. He's grumpy, but he's a good guy. He's not bad. He's not actually mean. He's less stern and more like burnt out millennial. If you see how Shirahama draws like his modern AU stuff, he's like overworked mangaka, probably just like how she feels. And he's always tired, always sleeping. He was sleeping in the show. Brush Betty was there. But I mean, I think the show will go more into his contraptions later, because that's kind of like his whole thing, is that he is. I don't know that we know the economic system yet. I think Kifri probably gets paid because these are 4 children assigned to him, like legally. But Orugio is like the guy who goes out and does all these commissioned tasks, and like he's kind of, people said he's like Steve Jobs. No, he's not like Steve Jobs. He's like if a billionaire inventor was actually a good person. He's a genius of sorts. He's very highly thought of in Witch society, and he's a very cool dude. And like you said, he brought magic to Coco. Him and Kifri, they got that special bond. They have known each other since children. I think the show already said that, and they grew up together, and their bond is very important. And there's a lot that goes into why Orugio is like the way he is, that I think you probably don't find out till like season 3 or 4. But season 2, you definitely get a big thing, and you learn more about him. So yeah, Elira season 2, Orugio season 2. Riche, you'll get more of her arc, but you already saw like most of it, I think, early on. Of, you know, she dealt with a horrible master, and she does not want to be controlled by other adults. Although obviously, as the cliffhanger showed, like she will have to learn more magic because she sees, okay, I would be able to help a god and Iuni more if I were to learn more different spells. It's useful, and I won't have to lose my individuality if I learn more spells.
Yeah.
A god is learning how to be less of a gifted kid. If Orugio is the burnt out gifted kid, a god is the kid who cannot accept getting a B or C on an assignment. She's a little too hardcore because she got a C one time and then her mom kicked her out of the house, basically. And so she's dealing with like kind of recovering from that and realizing, okay, you're still 12. You don't have to like prove yourself to everyone. Is not that serious. You're 12, you know. And Kogo is learning the good of Witch society and the bad, which is, you know, she has been somewhat shielded by the Brimmed Caps plots around her. Like Kifri didn't tell her about the spell ink being swapped or anything like that, so she doesn't know how big of danger she's in right now, honestly. Because I mean, they're essentially a terrorist organization of sorts. Like they are really kind of the rimmed cats, they're not playing with these kids. They have their goals, and they are willing to do what it takes to get to them. So Coco's in big danger, and she doesn't know yet. But it's all right. And I didn't even talk about the best character yet, Brush Buddy. Oh my god. Oh my god. If you read the manga, Brush Buddy, they did some of this in the anime. But obviously, this is harder to include in an anime than in a manga. But like, Brush Buddy will be in every page, almost every panel, doing something very cute and adorable. Half the time, it's copying the mannerisms of somebody. So like, Tetia is being super cute, and then Brush Bunny is there being like also super cute, and it's the greatest thing. Like Orugio will do something, Brush Buddy will like imitate the little animation, like the little expression on the face. Like it's and Orugio and Brush Buddy is like he's like dads with the cat they didn't want, which is like he didn't care for that Brush Buddy at first. Like he was throwing it at Coco and stuff, but he was playing with it too. Like he loves, oh my gosh, Brush Buddy. The little noises Brush Buddy makes is the cutest thing I've heard in my life. I forgot what the voice actor's name is, but they do such a good job with the little creature, both in English and Japanese. I've not heard the other languages. I'm sure they do great too. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about the voice actors yet. They're all so good. Oh my gosh. There's so much to talk about. That's amazing. And it's a lot. I need y'all to watch this show. I need y'all to read the manga. I need you to become, you'll become a sicko. I can't say I need you to become a sicko because that's part of it. There's no way to read this and watch this and not come out on the other side being like, this is the greatest thing I'm probably gonna ever see in my life. Oh my god. Coco, we are voting for you for president. Like it is that good. Like Shirahama, you can do no wrong. I mean, she's a person. She might do something wrong. I'm not saying she can't.
Just like how it is to read of Heron then.
Oh yeah. I gotta get on that. I know they like these are part of like the big three of fantasy with Dungeon Meshi too. Like I gotta hop on. But I will, I promise.
I know. I'm just messing with you. You know that by now.
Yeah. It's all good. But yeah, it really is that good. You hearing me say this, everyone's hearing me say this, and they're like, it can't be. I mean, it's good, but can it be that good? And it is. Like, I'm not lying. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got without going too spoilery. My favorite character design, Judy, because she's a little black girl with her big hair, and she's so cute. She doesn't show up for a while. That's kind of, she might be in season 2. Another one of my favorite characters, Belderuit. I can't tell you anything about him with it because I want you to be surprised. But he's like one of the main visual disabilities we see in the series. He's very cool. He should show up season 2 as well. We find out more about everybody, of course, over the process of the manga. Trying to think of specifically because I'm guessing season 2. Let's say if they do 4 volumes each season, which I honestly I hope they do more than that. I hope they can get a couple of arcs closer together, that kind of thing. I wonder.
I mean, it depends on how many episodes they do and all that. Yeah, so they're arguing.
Yeah, I don't know much about Bug Films. I don't know how their financial situation goes. I don't know anything like if Kodansha, which is the people who published Witch Hat, I don't know what the contracts or anything look like.
Bugs have only done the previous work they did was Zoom 100. That's the only thing really.
Yeah, and I heard that didn't go well production wise. I don't really know what went down.
Yeah, it didn't go. It was delayed and everything. And well,
yeah.
But hey, it at least got a solid first season overall compared to the second season of the alleged second season of Promised Neverland. Fuck that second season.
Oh boy. We need not get into that one. But yeah, I have no idea what they might do, which is, I mean, it's interesting. No matter what, go ahead and read the manga. I'm gonna say, like, I know people who are anime first don't necessarily like say I'm never gonna read the manga, but sometimes you feel like, okay, if I'm watching this, I'm already kind of got a feeling for how the anime works. So I'm gonna keep going with the anime. Please, please, you're gonna be waiting like a year anyway. Maybe, I don't know if it's gonna take that long, but maybe if you know, just go ahead and read the manga. It's a different experience. I am extremely biased in that I generally prefer written material to on-screen material. There, like I said, there's that one scene in particular with Kifri and Iuni that was not in the show yet. I don't know if they're gonna fit that into season 2 somehow. There's not a good place to put it that wouldn't feel. It's like it's just kind of like, if for him to say it after everything happened is not the same impact as him saying it immediately when he meets the child, to me. And I feel like it's a kind of a disservice for them to not include that scene. I understand they have a limited amount of time for each episode, and the last couple episodes are all very action packed and stuff like that. I'm not criticizing the show, but the fact that that scene is not there, and it is, you know, at least as a reader, it was a fairly important emotional moment in that pre-test area of time that, like, it to me, it's, you're missing out if you're not reading the manga. Even if you can't see the, like, I didn't even talk about like structural things that it does so well in terms of like panel layouts and things like that. Even if, but I know not everyone is into comics and manga at that level, so you may not notice it at first, but in the similar way that Watchmen, the comic, is considered legendary, not because of the content of the story, which, I mean, the story is pretty good too. Like, I'm not gonna, Alan Moore and David Gibbons, they cooked on that one. Like, I'm not lying on that. They did very well. But the reason to me why Watchmen is a good comic, a legendary comic, is because of the visual storytelling, how the layouts draw the eye across the page. Like, it's hard for me as someone who's not I've not studied comics or manga structure. This is just like, as a reader of, like, I've been reading for like 15, 20 years, some kind of sequential thing in long form, like comics and manga. Obviously I read like comic strips and stuff growing up. Everyone did that. But
Yeah.
in terms of like long form full pages, I've only been reading for like 15, 20 years. So I'm not going to claim to be an expert. I don't have formal training or anything like that. But you can tell when something on the page is doing intentional cues for the reader to bounce from panel to panel, and the rhythm that you do that in, it just can feel so good when a team is working together, like on Watchmen, or even a singular artist on a manga like Witch Hat Atelier. You can just feel that they are in their groove, they are cooking, they're doing the art. Like, it's very, you can know it when you see it, basically. And Witch Hat Atelier is one of those series that is just very immaculately presented and constructed, and it's like, there's a reason why it has won Eisner Awards, Harvey Awards. These are English language comic book series awards that often have manga like specific awards, like, you know, not international releases or non-American releases.
I get you.
They want to highlight other things. They don't want to act like comics are only Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, etc. You know, so it is one of those things. Like, there's a reason why it has won all these awards, and it's not just because it's, I mean, for all that the content of the series is, like, I say all these things, okay, it's all about, you know, diversity, disability justice, that kind of, yeah, that's true, and that is the core of the story, but it is, the construction of it is also so noteworthy, so very beautiful. So you may learn something if you're an artist and you read it, like, literally, like, oh, I didn't know you could do that technique, kind of thing. Which, you know, as a layman, I don't know all the little technique terms and stuff, but I can tell, like, when like in comics it's referred to as the gutter, like the space between the panels, that kind of, and the pages, like, as they're laid out on like the literal printed page. I don't know if manga uses that term, the gutter, but like I could tell like when the gutter space is being used cleverly. A lot of the time you'll see like the characters sort of interact with the paneling in a way. Like Q3, he might like lean down and he'll be leaning on the panel border, and it's like very like it's not meant to be fourth wall breaking necessarily, but it's like it's just clever usage of the medium. Like it's just very, this is the coolest thing I've seen. Like I can't
Tony
explain further. Yes.
Tony, and you wonder why I say that you should start your own podcast?
No.
Or continue doing podcasts?
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah, I think.
Please watch Witch Hat Atelier.
At least I will. But Tony, where can people find you?
Yes. Okay. I am on most social media platforms. I'm on at SilverJojo08. That is a Mojo Jojo reference, not a JoJo Bizarre Adventure reference. I don't mind JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not into it. I've not read or watched it yet. My sisters love it. My sisters are also grown. They're like me. We're all like 30 plus, but my sisters, they love that. they actually have every volume of One Piece, which is a whole nother thing. But it's kind of like they we're all a nerdy little family. But yeah, SilverJojo08. On Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr. Sometimes I use Neuramazing, and that's because I love Neuronal, Dream Girl from the Legion of Superheroes. Legion of Superheroes is another thing about youth liberation that I can't get into now, but I have a Legion of Superheroes reading list if you need it. They got a new series coming in September. Please read it. It's gonna be good, maybe, hopefully. I'm fingers crossed. But yeah.
Yeah. Crossing my fingers. But yeah, and you can find me here at the Swedish Emblem, the Amateur Talk Pod.
And I'm always in Isaac's Twitch replies too. If you want to hang.
Yeah. But with that said, have it awesome, y'all. And keep reading and watching.